Next up, we have Tim Lydon again. I think Tim's coming up. We have Tim Lydon, and not William Mountain, but Charla Hughes will be talking about the volunteer opportunities in Prince William Sound, focused on the Prince William Sound Stewardship Foundation. We've introduced Tim. I learned all kinds of things about Tim. He's an author. Who knew that? I didn't know that about you, Tim. And he's also a founding member of the foundation. And Charla is the program director for the Prince William Sound Stewardship Foundation. Joined us this year. We've been thrilled to have her on board after a year of academia, and she has a PhD in English. So that's been very helpful for all of the rest of us with the foundation. And she's also a writer, a journalist for various travel magazines and academic publications. So, Charla and Tim.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. And thank you, everyone online who's tuning in. And thanks to the board of the Prince William Sound Stewardship Foundation and everyone who's helped plan this event today. All right. So you've seen our signs around. You've seen the stickers out front. I'm here to tell you a bit more about who we are as a foundation and what we do. And Tim will tell us more about some of our volunteer opportunities that are available this summer as we partner with the Forest Service. So our mission for the Prince William Sound Stewardship Foundation is that we're dedicated to maintaining and enhancing the wilderness character of Western Prince William Sound. We're a community of individuals, businesses, and organizations supporting public education, restoration, and stewardship projects that serve Prince William Sound's ecosystem, fish, wildlife, residents, and visitors. What we do, we participate in beach cleanups throughout the summer. We just had our first over at the head of the bay a week ago on May 14th. We'll be partnering with Parks and Rec here in Whittier throughout the summer for different beach cleanups, and we have a lot of opportunities to get out in the Sound for that as well. We have a big focus on marine debris removal, including our Leave It Better campaign, which I'll say more about here in a moment. And you have the opportunity to participate in that as soon as you leave today. We have some of those yellow bags outside you can pick up to take with you. We do a lot of invasive species mitigation around the Sound, including black slugs. We have our Slug Out Day coming up in June, and European green crabs. We also have a lot of citizen science opportunities that you can get involved in when you're going out in the Sound. Check out our website for those citizen science opportunities, including mussels monitoring for paralytic shellfish poisoning. We partner with Alutiiq Pride to send those shellfish that are those mussels down there to be tested, and that's really important for subsistence resources in the Sound. We also do trail and recreation site restoration throughout the summer. Alaska Geographic is a great partner on that, as does the Forest Service. We have our Prince William Sound Facebook forum, which you're all welcome to go join. It's a great place to find out about events like this one that are going on in and around the Sound, and to also share your photos, share your stories, connect with other people in the area, and build some community there. We have a lot of public education opportunities too, including this Natural History Symposium. Again, thank you everyone for being here today, tuning in online, and those of you who will view the videos afterward as well. We also have voter outreach. We have a voter outreach day coming up with the start of Memorial Day weekend, and we have some rack cards outside that you're welcome to pick up either for yourself or to share. So a bit more about our summer volunteer projects. I mentioned that Leave It Better campaign. The Leave It Better campaign last year, through the work of lots of sponsors and partners, actually won the Alpar Award for Volunteerism or Service. And you can participate in this starting today if you'd like. So you can pick up yellow bags out in the lobby, or if you're in Girdwood at the Glacier Ranger District Forest Service office, or here in Whittier at Lazy Otter, Alaska Sea Kayakers, or the Harbor Master's office. So you would pick up those yellow bags, take them when you're out on the beach or out in the Sound, and find any marine debris, put it in the bag, and then you can either take the bag with you, or you can stash that bag above the high tide line and take a picture, GPS coordinates, let us know on the Facebook page, and let the Forest Service know, and somebody will come around and pick that up. So again, there are bags outside if you'd like to start getting involved in that. We have some events coming up very soon. Our invasive black slug removal will be on June 16th. Also June 16th, we have the first of our summer trips going out into the Sound, and Tim will tell us a lot more about each of these. We have 2 invasive dandelion removal trips out to Hobo Bay. We have 1 spot left on the first one and 2 spots left on the second. We also have our Blackstone Bay campsite hardening and trail restoration trip coming up at the end of June. There's 1 spot left for that. Our marine debris trips fill up very quickly. We'll be going out to Perry Island and Knight Island for that in July. And we have our Shroud Lake trail maintenance from Long Bay to Three Finger Cove. You can see a photo from a past summer volunteer trip there. You can find out more about all of these opportunities and other opportunities as they come up throughout the summer on our Facebook page and on our website under Summer Volunteer Opportunities. And if you become a member of the Prince William Sound Stewardship Foundation, you also get early access to signups for these summer volunteer projects. So we launched those signups in early March as you're starting to make your summer plans. As I mentioned, we had our first beach cleanup. It was a great success in partnering with Whittier Parks and Rec last week. For the Head of the Bay Cleanup Day, we pulled out about 2 truckloads of marine debris from the beach, cleaned up lots of little metals from like pallet fires, and we even found an old fish tank, I believe, which is going to be repurposed into some planters. So there we go. Here's our crew. And you can join us. You can be part of this in the future. And I'll hand it over to Tim, who's going to tell us a bit more about our partners and all of the volunteer opportunities we have coming up.
Thanks, Charla. Thank you, Charla. That was a great overview, and I enjoy working with the foundation. And I'm speaking again today from the Forest Service standpoint and expressing that gratitude. And as I touched upon just a bit ago, how much the foundation has helped us do work. My job has to do with the wilderness study area entirely. That's where I work. And so from our program standpoint, the Stewardship Foundation has done a lot. And I think they bring not only what Charlotte has described, great projects and great volunteers, but also a really great community-driven vision. And I'll use marine debris as an example. And this is a picture from last summer on the left of, we did a cleanup down in Elrington Island, southwest part of the Sound. And just the partners on this one marine debris trip alone, to me, was really extraordinary and really reflects that Prince William Sound Stewardship Foundation vision of a community-driven stewardship program. So again, I'm going to struggle to read there, right? Because I made that font too small. I'm now realizing because I don't have a laptop in front of me, which I'm used to. But in any event, we draw a lot on the expertise of Chris Pallister with Gulf of Alaska Keeper for looking for where to pick up marine debris. And so that's one of our partners. We're active with Chris. Each year now, we merge one of our cleanups with one of his cleanups in the Western Sound. Obviously, Chugach National Forest. We've had Coast Guard Station Valdez bring a couple of boats out and help us on marine cleanups, marine debris cleanups on Perry Island. And the folks here, Nick Olzenak and family of Prince William Sound Books. And I think it was Josie who earlier mentioned that the cruising guide has been updated. Well, that's now owned by Prince William Sound Books, and they've done that update, that re-release with new information. But Prince William Sound Books, who is also Prince William Sound Salt Company, if you know these guys, they have also met us out there in their private vessels and lent other support too in helping us outreach these marine debris cleanups. And last summer, well, down in the southwest part of the Sound, the hatchery on Evans Island, the state-supported hatchery, they sent crews out, as did the Port Ashton Lodge, and there were others too. that supported that. And then Charla brought up this marine debris. We do 2 trips, the Forest Service and the foundation do 2 trips a year into the Sound. We do that on a 3-year rotational basis based on 3 areas that we think are big catchment zones where we're going to continually find a lot of garbage. But in addition to that, Charla described the Leave It Better campaign, and I just want to recognize Glacier Jet Ski Adventures, Lazy Otter, Alaska Pacific University, UAA, and others that are on there who have all participated in that Leave It Better campaign, either by distributing bags or, as you see in the kayak picture up there in the center, we all know Victor Shen, many of us do, and this is one of his trips last summer with Alaska Sea Kayakers, maybe as a guide training, I forget, but they just couldn't help themselves to a whole bunch of marine debris along Port Nellie 1 and in Culross Passage. And if you can see that picture, they had really an extraordinary amount packed inside these kayaks for folks just kayaking and picking up garbage. We try to involve families as much as possible. So a couple kids there every year on our marine debris cleanups. We have children and families. We can't support families on our Forest Service vessel that we use. I know that the Stewardship Foundation has received more funding for marine debris cleanup, and that's something that Forest Service and the foundation really want to see more of, is ways to get families out there. But we're already doing that because, again, Charla mentioned the Facebook forum and other social media. We're reaching out to private boaters, and on that Elrington Island cleanup last year, we had, I forget how many private boaters, but we're all down there in Fox Farm Bay. And by day, we would strategize with each other and zip around to beaches, bring all the garbage to a central spot where the Forest Service boat would haul it away. And at night, we would bonfire, roast marshmallows, hang out on the beach. We had a young woman spearfishing salmon. So I'm highlighting that it's really a lot of fun, and we really are trying to build, much like Betsy was just talking about, and others today have talked about, a community-driven vision for stewardship. So anyhow, I want to just provide some flavor for that. And also, again, highlighting how much the Forest Service values the foundation. Another example of an annual project now is the Schroed Lake Trail. Has anybody hiked that trail on Culross Island to the Schroed Lake Cabin? A couple of folks. Well, you can go out there this summer if you're in the area. It's an incredible 3-mile trail basically from Cochrane over to Long Bay in Culross. And the Forest Service, we if you look at the Glacier District, we have, over 2 million acres of land, over 1,000 miles of shoreline. We have the road system. We have so much that we're doing. We're spread really thin. And so Schroed Lake Trail and other trails in the WSA are on up to a 5-year rotation for maintenance. And as you know, blueberries and alders and Devil's Club are on a much quicker pace, right? So we have been only able to keep up with these trails as best we can on that rotation as we take care of Winter Creek and other higher use trails. Well, the foundation stepped in and offered to partner with us with volunteers each summer. And now each summer, what used to be a real car wash going up to the Schroed Lake Cabin with all the ferns and alders and overgrowth. Well, now we've really opened that trail up quite a bit. We're going to visit that annually with the foundation. Volunteers get a ride to and from the site with a Forest Service vessel, and they get free lodging at the cabin there. And like our other projects, we invite private boaters to join us and others, and we hope families can join us at some point. Charla mentioned another really one of the best deals going in stewardship these days. We have some invasive dandelions growing up at Hobo Bay and up in Harriman Fjord as well. We believe arrived by recreation tents or whatever. We want to prevent those from spreading to other beaches. They've spread to a few beaches. So each year the Forest Service, again, we don't have the capacity to be going out there, all the other things that we're doing and pulling dandelions, but the Stewardship Foundation provides us with outreach and volunteerism. In exchange, the Forest Service will give the volunteers a ride out to Hobo. We don't work in Harriman anymore for what Dennis described earlier as it's not worth it to pull dandelions in Harriman Fjord right now for obvious reasons. But we'll bring you in our Forest Service boat. And if you want to bring a kayak or whatever, we'll pick you up a few days later, or you can kayak back to Whittier or whatever. We're flexible with the volunteers because we're grateful for that help. I put what I hope is the right dates up there. And Charlie, you said there's a couple more openings.
One spot for the first, 2 for the second.
So this is a pretty amazing opportunity. One spot for the first and two for the second are still available, and you can sign up for any of these through princewilliamsound.org. And, folks we agree on a few hours a day. They're really not very big dandelion patches, but we agree on a little bit of work each day, and then the rest of the day is yours. Forest Service will show up, provide a little bit of training, but we're not there on site. So you'll be camping or paddling or whatever. We try to be flexible because, again, we're grateful for this assistance. I wanted to highlight this slide too. I know that the foundation is in discussions with the state on how things can, how they can help there. And these two photos on the left here are from West Twin Bay and Perry Island. And that's really a high use place, a really beautiful spot, great space to get out of the weather. But it's really suffered a lot of damage in recent years. I want to highlight that. That's part of state DNR lands. But there's just a lot of trash. There's human waste recurrent in the area. And there's been a couple campfires that have been left to burn for actually one smoldered for a number of weeks, maybe 3 years ago now, and destroyed these trees, burned through the roots. And I don't know if there's 10 or so mature spruce and hemlock that have fallen onto the area where people camp. So this foundation is not cleaning the site right now, but I know that the foundation and the Forest Service and state parks all traveled out to the site last year, along with other state sites, to discuss, is the foundation available to help the state in similar ways that it's helping the Forest Service? So I wanted to highlight that. And then on the lower right, Charla mentioned the Blackstone Bay campsites, and both Alaska Geographic for many years and the foundation in recent years have helped us turn situations like you see over on Perry Island into what I think are really world-class camping opportunities at 17 Mile in Blackstone Bay, where we used to have a lot of erosion, muckiness, loss of vegetation, lots of litter, and a number of problems that the foundation and Alaska Geographic have helped us mitigate in recent years. And then there's this other thing. Some of us have talked about community resilience and food security. And Charla already mentioned that in cooperation with CERC and others, collecting mussels to send to Alutiiq Pride for testing for PSP. And that's been another great way of bringing the community together, because Alaska sea kayakers, guides have brought back samples. Private boaters have used the Prince William Sound Forum to tune into the rotation when the samples are needed and bring those samples in. Maybe they're out halibut fishing. I think it was, someone was halibut fishing down Night Island, one of the sites there, I think it was. And they contacted the foundation and said, hey, I'm out here. Do you need mussels? Brought them in, mailed them down. The foundation mailed them down to Alutiiq Pride. So again, another example that as a community, whether it be organizations, outfitted guides, or private boaters, we can participate in marine debris, mussel sampling. We have some citizen science needs from the Forest Service that the foundation is helping us fill. And I don't have great details on that right now, but the picture on the lower left is a couple of kayakers helped us a couple of years ago, gathering some information on visitor use and campsite conditions. And please reach out to me or to the foundation about these citizen science things. We may be able to provide transportation in some certain instances for going out to the Sound, for collecting citizen science. We're still building that. So want to let you know about that. Another effort where we can team up together to get really good work done. And I think this might be the last one I'm going to highlight, is that the foundation is partnering with the Forest Service on our office in Girdwood on a community potato garden. And this is a picture, I think from this year, actually. Yeah, just planting those potatoes with Charla and Ellen and others, local kids and whatnot. And we grew a lot of potatoes last year, and all those go to the Girdwood Food Bank, which serves communities along Turnagain Arm and Whittier as well. So just another great effort that people can join in, and that I'm really wanted to highlight by the foundation. And that picture in the lower left, we grew three varieties of potatoes last year: Purple Vikings, Yukon Golds, and then Haida potatoes, which are really interesting and delicious, indigenously grown, or potato that's been indigenously grown along the Northwest coast for centuries. And anyhow, we gathered all those up in that piece of marine debris, that basket that we found out on Night Island, and delivered that to the food bank. But we kept our basket because we'll put more potatoes in next year. Anyhow, I think that's all I wanted to highlight, and I just want to thank the foundation for today. The Forest Service gets a lot out of this, and we know the community does as well. So thanks, Charla, and everybody.
Questions?
Thank you, Tim. Are there any questions from here or online? All right, great. On the website, yes, PrinceWilliamSound.org.
Yeah, the question was, where to register for these, go to PrinceWilliamSound.org, and there's a link that says "Get Involved." All right. Well, we once again thank the group that puts together this organization's really been just driven by volunteers. So we encourage you to get involved. I'd also like to note that going forward, Tim mentioned further funding, but we've gotten funding from Exxon Valdez Oil Spill Trustees and the Forest Service through their RAC program to fund some of these projects. So we're really excited to go forward. We're time for lunch, but again, we want to thank our many sponsors, again, the Titla Corporation, Prince William Sound Original Citizen Advisory Council in the city of Whittier, and also some more of our Chugach level sponsors, Kathy Hodge Studio, and Hoodwood Bookkeeping, and to Lazy Hour Charters, Mike Bender's here. Thank you guys so much for your support, along with our other many sponsors, and again, membership. You can sign up at PrinceWilliamSound.org. I think now, that was a lot. Man, we did land management, we did oil spill, we've done all kinds of stuff, and volunteer opportunities. So that's a lot of information. So now it's time for a break and lunch from 12:30 to 1. So those of you online, we'll start up again at 1 o'clock with what we got at 1. We got herring patterns and Prince William Sound. They'll talk about fish.